remember, this is where we stopped last time. Have you gone through the next sum as I have told you? I have told you to go through the next sum. Right. So I'll give you a brief recap of what we have discussed last time. Harry? The technique that you have discussed was activity on arrow. I'll mute your lights first. The technique that we used was activity on arrow. Now it's okay. Right? Where the activities are represented by arrows like this. So A here is an activity. Here B, C, all are activities like excavation, rubble work, foundation, roof work, painting, like that. Right? So this 1, 10, those are called events. So here 1 is the start of activity A, 10 here is the finish of activity A. Likewise, 40, sorry, 40 is the start of G, 50 end of G. So those are events. This 40 is the event of starting of activity G. 50 is the event of end of activity G. Right? Same way, 40 is the finish of activity E and finish of F. So this event here represents the finish of both activity E and activity F. So you have to understand this context. There are relationships, as I have discussed. There are 4 relationships. We have discussed them already. We have to be vigilant on. What activities, what are the relationships. So as far as the sum is concerned, the activities, the durations, and the relationships between activities will be given to you. So you have to work from that onwards. As I can remember, we discussed this and finished this last time, right? I asked you to try to do this. I'm not sure whether you have done this. I'll give you some time. From the theories that you have discussed last time, try to work this out and find the early start time, early finish time, late start time, late finish time of each activities. If you don't remember, let's say activity G for the time being, we draw something like this. This is the, for activity G, this is the early start, this is the late start, this is the early finish, this is the late finish. Early start is the earliest possible time that an activity can start. Later start is the latest possible time that an activity can start. Early finish, earliest that activity can finish. Late finish, likewise, latest possible time the activity can finish. So for the next sum, I expect you to work this out and find out the early start times, late start times, early finish times, and late finish times of each of these activities, right? I will give you some time. Let's take about maybe 15-20 minutes. Let's take about 15-20 minutes. I'll divide you to groups randomly like other time. Those who have discussed those who have done this can teach others, because otherwise there's no point in doing these online lectures if everybody is not following. Okay, so I will give you some time. I will divide you into random groups. I will come to each of the groups and try to sort it out. From the theories that you have discussed last time, you can do this. Drawing the network. I don't think that there are issues, so I will be working this out. So I'm starting with 0 here. I'm starting with 0 here. 0 plus this 16 should be 16 here. Right? 0 plus 20 should be 20 here. No issues on that. Event 4 also, there's only one arrow towards that. It's this arrow, only one arrow towards that. So no issue. 35 here. For this 5, we have 2 arrows. 1, 2. And from this arrow, it's 16 plus 15 is 31. From this side, it's 30. So we have explained the reason very clearly last time. So we take the higher value, 31. 31. For this event 6, we have 3 arrows. 1, 2, 3. First arrow we are getting 31 plus 12, 43. Second arrow we are getting 35 plus 16, 51. If you don't understand, you can use the chat to answer. Okay, 4 to 5 I have right. 4 to 5 I have forgotten. So here we get 3 arrows, 30, 31 and 38. Yeah, 30, 31 and 38. So you have to get 38 here. Right. Thank you for letting me know who was that. Lasita Sirivardhana Zuvita. Yes, good. 3 arrows. 38 plus 12, 50. Sorry. 50. 35 plus 16, 51. 0 plus 30, 30. Right. We take the highest value, 51. So the duration of the project is 51. Duration is 51. So no issue up to that point. So we'll go with the backward path. Backward path. So we start with 51 here. If you take this node event 5, there's only one arrow going outwards of that. So 51 minus 12, that is 39. For node 4, there are 2 arrows, this one and this one. So we get 39 minus 3 is 36. Yeah. 51 minus 60, that's 35. In the backward pass, we discussed that we are taking the lower value. So it should be 35. Should be 35. If I'm making a mistake, just let me know in the chat. Huh? Okay. And here, for this node 2, there's only one arrow going outwards of that. So we have to take that arrow. 39 minus 15, that's 24. Yeah, Niroj, I'll answer your question after working this out. So for this node 3, we have two arrows. We have two arrows. From the arrow from event 5, we get 39 minus 10, it's 29. From the other arrow, 35 minus 15, that's 20. We take the lower value. It's 20. Right? It's 20. Now, the last one, we have three arrows. 1, 2, and 3. 24 minus 16, that is 8. 20 minus 20, that's 0. 51 minus 30 is 21. So we take the lower value, lowest value out of those. That's 0. That is how we get the answer. In activity on arrow, this is a simple technique. So Niroja has asked, can't we minimize 6 to 1? What do you mean minimize? Is neglecting the arrow? No, we can't neglect because it is given to us. Because it is given to us, there may be some requirement. Let's say I don't get an exact example at the moment. Sometimes we have to something like we have to have columns to have the roof, something like that, right? So columns may be constructed at the very start of the project, where before anything else, roof may be the last item that we do. But the thing is, we can't neglect that error because sometimes there may be cases, you'll understand that when you work out some examples in the next section, whatever the relationship that is given to us, we have to use that properly. So we can't neglect any of these errors. We have to. So the answer is here. I think this is the same answer that we have got. This is the same answer that we have got. If there's any difference, we'll discuss that. I don't think that there are differences. Okay. And we should be able to prepare a table like this. For activity 1 to 2, duration that is given, earliest start time, latest start time, earliest finish time, latest finish time, total float, and the things that we will discuss now. Up to this point, you should be able to, this part you should be able to understand by now, because you have done this. This part we will discuss now. What float is, what free float is, what independent float is, those things we will discuss. Those things we will discuss. Right. We will discuss that example in a while later, because I need to continue the lecture for a while. So we have discussed this already. T1 is the earliest start time, latest start time, earliest finish time, and latest finish time for this particular activity A. So we know this by now. Float. In a MS project, we have discussed this as slack, if you remember. I'm not sure whether you remember, but we have discussed a thing called the slack. Slack is, if you remember bar charts, in MS project, there was a possibility that we could get a line like this. Float practically means the amount of time, the time that we can delay an activity without affecting the total project duration. Sorry. without affecting the total project duration. For example, here the network that you have selected now, let's say this activity A, right? It is this activity A. You can see a difference here. Latest start time is 16, latest finish time is 24. In practice, that means that this has to start at the very beginning because it affects some other activities, right? And the thing is, this activity can be delayed by 8 days. It's 24 minus 16 is 8. So it's okay for this activity A to finish on day 24. We can finish in day 16. We can finish in day 16, but it can finish at day 24. That doesn't affect the duration of the project. The project finishes at 51. Can be delayed by 8 days. 8 is 24 minus 16. Latest start possible time that it can, sorry, this is earliest finish time. Sorry, this is earliest finish time. Latest finish time. Earliest possible time that the activity can finish is 16. Latest possible time that the activity can finish is 24. Earliest possible time to finish, latest possible time to finish. Try to understand this. So this activity can be delayed by 8 days, but the project duration remains the same. Likewise, for this activity D, its finish can be delayed by 1 day. Its finish can be delayed by 1 day, like that. The exact physical interpretation of this we will discuss in the next section, activity on node, where you will understand this clearly. But try to understand, if there's a difference in the values that we get, that means there's a float. That's the only thing that I want to say here. That activity can be delayed, but the project duration can be kept the same. Those are not critical activities. Not critical or non-critical activities. Right? You understand what critical means. Those are not critical activities. Meanwhile, activity B, for example, it has to start at day 0. It has to finish at day 20 because these two values are the same. Here, these two values are the same, and these two values are the same. This activity is a critical activity. We can't delay that by any means if you want to finish the project on time. If activity B is delayed, the project is delayed. Activity B, activity E, activity H, those activities cannot be delayed. Those are critical activities. In other words, there's no float for those activities. Try to understand the meaning of float. Activity A, there is a float. Activity B, there is no float. Activity E, there's no float. Activity H, there's no float. No float activities are critical activities. Okay, that's what we wanted to discuss. Floats, there are different types of floats. Total float, let's say for an activity, let's say this is an activity, you get duration, and you get these values. This is T1, T2, T3, T4. Total float is the amount of time that we can delay without affecting the project duration. Without affecting the project duration. Total project duration. That means however the things happen, the project duration is kept the same. This is the activity duration. Project duration is the 51 in the example that we have done a little while ago. So T4 is the latest finish time, earliest start time minus the duration. Remember, the next activity can be delayed, the activities in the path can be delayed, but the total project duration is kept the same. Meanwhile, free float is the amount of time that we can delay this activity in such a way that delay in the early start of any succeeding activity. Free float is if you delay that activity, if the next activity is delayed, that's a problem sometimes. So the amount of time that an activity can be delayed in such a way that the next activity is not delayed. Earlier, only we worry about the project duration, not the next activity, right? All the next activity may be delayed, but the project duration should be kept the same. Free float, no, you can't delay if the next activity is delayed. That is T3, early start of this. Sorry, early finish of this, early start of this minus the duration. You can understand this practically if you substitute this, if you consider this with the previous example that you have worked out. The next one, independent float. Earlier, the activity start of the next activity should not be delayed. Independent float is next activity is not affected by any means. Only this activity is delayed. Right? Only this activity is delayed. Without affecting preceding or the succeeding activity. It's independent of other activities. Whatever happens, it cannot affect any other activity in any way. That's independent float. Total float, the total project duration should not be affected. Free float, the next activity start should not be affected. The start of the next activity. Independent float, no activity should be affected. Then the negative float is if sometimes the activities must be compressed, that we will discuss in the next section in detail. So I'm not going into negative float. For this section, we don't really need negative floats. We are working with positive floats. Negative floats we will discuss in the section maybe in a couple of weeks. Hope you understood that. Critical path and critical activities. Critical activities we have discussed. Sorry. Critical activities we have discussed. Yes, critical activities are the activities where float is 0. That activity cannot be delayed, cannot be extended, cannot be done anything. Those are critical activities. If that activity is delayed, if that activity takes longer than expected, the project duration is exceeded or project cost will be exceeded. In a practical project, there's a path in the sense. So I'll go to the example again. Let's say, for example, is this path, the path that I'm drawing now, sorry, the path that I'm drawing now, this one. From start to finish, there's one path. Activity B, E, H, that's a path. Just observe this path. B, 00, 20, 20, no float. E, 20, 20, 35, 35, no float. H, 35, 35, 51, 51, sorry. 51, 51, no float. So this is a path where all the activities in the path have no float. No activity in this path is having a float. So here B, E, H, we call it critical path. We call B, E, H the critical path. All the activities in the path are critical. Critical means no float. So the critical path of this project is B, E, H. That is what we mean by the critical path. That is what we mean by the critical path. Keeping that in mind, can you work out this example 3? You can work out this, you can try to work out, there are issues here. With the previous knowledge, try to work out this path. I'll divide you into groups again. I'll give you a little more time this time. What I expect you to do is, you have to understand this sum first and draw the network and try to solve this in whatever the knowledge that you have. You may come across some issues, we will discuss that together. So I'm going to divide you into groups. You can discuss them. This is the activity. This should be in an arrow, right? Something like if it is 10, 20, something like that. This A should be here, duration should be here. It's not like A, that this is wrong. This is wrong. This is correct. That's the first thing. The next technique that you're going to work out, we'll use the second technique that is incorrect at the moment. The first thing you have to understand this. Okay, now you can see my screen. So I'll draw this now. Now there are these activities: soil looking for a land, soil investigation, site drill. Those are all construction related activities. Those are all construction related activities, and we have to draw the network now. We have to draw the network now. First thing is I'll go with 10, 20, 30, 40, things like that. 10 to 20. Now, before drawing this, we better look at this very carefully. We have to look at this very carefully. After A, after A, after C, after D and B, after D, after E and F. So you have to understand that there are some constraints here. We have to understand. If you say A, after A, we should have two arrows. From A, we should have two arrows. That is because after A, they are in two places. From D, we should have two arrows. E and F, both after D. E should be after both D and B. Right? So we have to have that basic understanding first. Basic understanding what the diagram should look like. Then what I'm recommending for a sum like this is draw some rough sketch first. Draw some rough sketch first to understand the shape of the diagram. Because otherwise things might get confusing later. Because this is only 6-7 activities. We are working with activities like 25-30 activities in your exam. Right? Not for this technique. Here we can't have a lot of activities like that. It's confusing, as I told you previously. Okay, we will work out. A we have, remember A, something like this. So we have marked A, right? So we should have two events, 10, 20. The reason why we use these values we will discuss in the next section. So B should be after A. There should be two arrows. So B should be B, the duration is 5. Let's say I'm using 30. After A. So these are correct. This is done and this is done. Right. C once again should be after A. C should be after A with a duration of 2. The next one. D should be after C. I have drawn a little larger, so I'll make this small. D should be after C. The duration is 4. E should be after D and B. This is the place that we have to be careful. We have to finish D and we have to finish B both to start activity E. Finish D and finish B both. B finishes at this point, D finishes at this point. So there, the next activity should start from both those nodes. One option is, okay, this is not the correct option, but the easiest thing is we draw a separate node here and start the next activity from that. Yeah, so these are activities without duration. These activities are without duration. Okay, we'll move it like that. So the next activity should be E. Duration is 6. Okay, you calculate this and your answers will come. But there are some issues. Now here, these 4 activities. See these 4 activities. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those activities, we don't have a duration. Remember, in these techniques, an arrow is an activity. Arrow is an activity. So those are some activities where duration is 0. We can't have activities with duration 0. It's like a person who's tall 0 centimeters. It's not practically possible. A person can't be 0 centimeters tall or 0 millimeters tall. It's like that. Duration with no, sorry, activity with no duration. But in some cases, we have to use activities like this in this technique. We draw dotted arrows for those, not continuous arrows, dotted arrows. Right? Remember, you can solve whatever in whatever the form and get the answers, but I'm discussing a theory here. So this has to be in dotted lines. We call these dummy activities. Here in this network, we have 4 dummy activities. We have 4 dummy activities. So this is not good. Technically, we should minimize dummy activities. If you don't understand, you can use the chat. Huh? You have to minimize dummy activity. You can solve this and get the answers. I'm saying this. You'll get numerically correct answers, but it is not the way that the technique tells us to do. Now we will discuss this again. Okay, this is technically correct. So I'm getting the presentation again. Okay, right. Now these cases, the first case no issue, second case no issue, third case no issue, fourth case also no issue. Only these 3 activities are having issues. If you can see my screen, if you have any issue, you can use the chat to let me know. Now here we have to be careful. There should be one node where both D and B finishes. There should be one node where only D finishes. There should be one node. Node means this. This is a node. This is a node or event. We call them nodes. These are all nodes. Nodes or events. We'll come back to this. There should be one node where E and F finishes. I'll repeat. There should be one node where D and B finishes. There should be one node only D finishes. There should be I repeat. There should be one node both D and B finishes. There should be one node where D finishes. There should be one node E and F finishes. So E and F, no issue. We can connect E finish of E to finish of F. Right? Both the activities can be finished at the same node that we will discuss. Only issue is D and B and E. So I will draw this again for you to understand. I will draw this again for you to understand. D after C. Now the issues come. E should be after both D and B. After both D and B. Right? So we can draw activity D like this, right? If you want. If we draw activity D like this and type activity E here, no issue on that because E starts both after B and D. Let's try to understand. This is a little. This is the only place where you can come across some issues in this technique. So no issue. B and D can finish on the same node, and then E can be started. No issue. But the problem is F. F can be done only after D has finished. So if we mark F somewhere here, that means F has to do after both D and B. That is wrong. Try to understand this. So there's a place where both D and B has to finish, and there's a place only D has to finish. So there should be one node where only D finishes. There should be one node where only D finishes. Should be like this. And there should be one node where both D and finishes. So we can draw it like this if you want. There's one node where D finishes. There's one node where both D and B finishes. Rather than drawing two arrows like this, what we do is we connect D and B like this with a dummy activity. Then what happens is there's one node here where both D and B finishes. There's one node where only D finishes. Then E can start from here. F can start here. This you have to think a little alone and understand. Remember, this is the rough sketch. Huh? This is the rough sketch that you draw. This is just for explaining. This one just for explaining. You don't need to draw this. Just for explaining for you, since you are beginners. This is the rough sketch. You can draw the correct one after this. And G should finish after E and F. So if I draw something here, E can be connected here directly, because there's no activity that can start only after D. There's only one dummy activity. Now you can use the same technique, same theories as we have used. And one thing, when you draw the correct thing, please make sure that you don't draw arrow backwards. When you draw the correct figure, so this arrow should be somewhere here. So 30, better make it somewhere here. This arrow going backwards, this arrow goes backwards, because sometimes it's confusing. If you don't draw arrow backwards, right, when you get the backward pass, you can get only the activities from the back end. In a node, there are some arrows connected to this end, there are some arrows connected to this end. So it's easier to calculate. Try to, it's not a rule, but try to not to draw arrow backwards. So I will give you some time. Okay, the time is up. The time is up. The ladder diagrams, we will discuss that after activity on node. So try to understand this sum. Try to understand this sum. If you have issues, you can maybe drop me an email or something. The only case that you had is here. There's one node where only D and B, where both D and B has to finish. There's one node only D has to finish. That is why we needed a dummy activity. Other than that, E and F, there's no activity after E. There's no activity after F. Only E, only F. So we don't need a dummy there. So if you have issues, I'll let you unmute yourselves now. Let you unmute yourselves now. If you have issues, you can ask now. The calculation is same as the previous sum. So that part I'm not going to do. The answer is there. The answer was there. This is the answer. Don't try to copy the answer. Try to understand, because I'm never asking, you know, I'm never asking the questions that I discuss in the class. Try to understand. So this path is a critical path. The path with orange, this path is the critical path. A, C, D, the dummy activity don't mark, E, G. That is the critical path. You can use the chat, or you can press and hold the spacebar and speak. Madhu, if you can press and hold the spacebar and speak. Huh? No, you got the issue. Oh, Madhu, kata kara. Okay.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
So can't understand this and this. How
What
to combine
what?
that? So how to combine after B and D,
No.
that one.
Okay, you have used. Okay, don't use this A and B first thing. Give me a minute. For this simple A and simple B, better use some other words. That's a different case, right? What do you need to combine? Let me check. Which part do you want to combine?
After D and B, how to
After
D and B,
and B, yes, okay.
then how to get D?
D is this. This keyword again.
D is this.
D is this. Let me log in. Okay, for the time being, keep it as it is. Of D finishes at your node D. Madhav, can you මොකක් හරි ඔය 10 20 දාගෙන යන්න, because otherwise DE, when I say DE, there are two D's, two E's.
Capital D.
Yeah,
See.
for explaining, yeah, it's easier. Right,
Okay.
fine, come on. So D activity finishes at simple E. B activity finishes at simple C.
Yes.
Okay. So there are two capital E's in your thing. Why is that?
So after D and
okay,
B,
after D, after B.
yes, sir.
Yeah. Another thing is both after. Yeah, I have the sum here. Can you show me that? Yeah. D and B. In a context of the diagram, there should be one place, because this activity starts after both D and B. There should be one place where both D and B finishes. Here, what you have done is there are two activities of E. E is one activity. It's a predecessor that you have the issue with. There are two predecessors. There should be one place, right, where both D and B finishes. So dummy activity basically short circuits it. If you draw a dummy activity, it's like short circuiting. You understand what I mean by short circuiting, either?
No, sir.
Right? So there should be one place where both D and B finishes. So activity, sorry, the simple C should be a place where both D and B finishes. That's why I have drawn a dotted line from here, your simple E to simple C.
Okay, sir.
This think a little and understand. We will discuss if we have issues in the next class, right?
Okay, sir.
It's not easy to understand this from the lecture itself. You have to think a little. You have to search for some sums like similar to this. You can search for some sums similar to this and try to work out. Okay.
Okay, sir.
We will discuss if we have issues in the next class. So we'll schedule a class for maybe 10-15 minutes with everybody. We have issues.